Inspiration for graphic design comes from everywhere. The trick is what to look for and how you see it. And that's why, as a designer, paying attention to details should be part of your everyday life. Tunji from Caesar Graphics. In this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to achieve successful design projects using one of the design that I received during the week from a designer. Now, this project is not successful because of the way the designer put together the elements. I'm going to use the same element to achieve the project, and I'm going to show you guys how I pick the right font and how I make my project look interesting to the eye. So let's start. All right, so this design here is not successful at all. And the reason why this is not successful is because there's no good structure here. All right, and that is why the composition is dull. You don't work on design projects without not having a particular structure in mind. It's like when you're, or the way architects work on building projects, they always have this, okay, this is what I want to do, and they go for it. And that's why every design project have a function. The function of the design is what mostly inspired the composition of the project. So you need to understand what the project is about, and then you go start putting the elements together. And these also cover the part of the fonts you're to use in the project. There are some characters, there are some fonts you are not supposed to use in your design. And the reason is because the same way we have designers that are not creative, is the same way we have people who design fonts who are not creative. And that's why it's not all the fonts you see on the internet or a friend sent to you that you must use in your project. So what I'll do is I'm still going to use the same element from the designer to recreate this. And the reason why I'm doing this is I'm trying to make you guys know that you can use the same element to achieve a good design project. But what you need to focus on is the balancing of the elements, the part of the balancing of the color, the part of balancing the scale, the weight of the font you're using in the project, the part of the proximity, which is also important, all right, which is the grouping of the elements, and also the part of the hierarchy, all right. This is also important. So I'm going to quickly recreate this and show you guys how to achieve successful design projects using the same elements. So I'm going to hide this and go straight to the folder where we have the design. Then I'll hide all the information that we have in the projects. The mistake this designer made here on the placing of this image is you don't fade images like this. When you have a character's hand in your project, you don't fade it like this, except if you're trying to pass a message with it. The most time we see effects like this is when we're trying to say maybe the person is inside a smoke and is trying to call your attention to the object that he or she is holding, or we're trying to achieve a zombie effect. All right, maybe like a dead person who is about to come out from the grave. There are better ways you can position this, which I'm going to show you now. First, I'm going to take out this layer mask here, delete it, because we need to see the hand, and I'm going to hide this. Then for this information here, I'm also going to hide this. Now I see that the designer, the image of the sax is still on the background. And I'm thinking maybe that's why the designer decided to blur the background. You see, you don't just blur background. All right. Yeah, you don't just blur background. There are some background that the texture on that background is what can also add to the beauty of your project. And I think that's what this designer did not notice. So I'm still going to use the same background here. So I'll right click here and say edit content. So this is the without blurred. So I'll drag this image and drop in here. So I'm going to activate the free transform by hitting Control T, Alt, and make this smaller. And this should come, move this down. So let's delete it. So I'm going to hit Control and A to create a selection of the frame, Control A, and hit Control J. All right. And I'll move this up here and make a copy of it by hitting Control J. Activate the free transform. I'm going to right click and say rotate 180 and move this down. Okay. Let's make this closer. Hold on Control and select the two layers and hit Control T and make this bigger. Yeah, this is better. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to create room for my content because the work of my background is to project what I have on the foreground. So I'm trying to make the background more interesting so that whatever I place on the foreground will be visible to the eye like that. So I'm going to do this by hitting Control E like that. And I'm going to select the spot healing tool here. I'll make this bigger. And why I want to do this is because I don't want this cropped effect here. So I'm going to make this blend. All right, like that. So then let's make the image of the socks with the hand visible. So I'm going to convert this to a smart object. So I'll activate the free transform and rotate this. Now, there are several ways you can place this. You can put this at the bottom here, all right? And you can place it on one side of the frame. But the reason why I can't put this here is because, okay, we can actually put it here, all right? But I'm not sure I like it here. So what I'll do is I'll position this somewhere here. And I'll rotate this a bit because placing it like this, it's not going to create suspense. So we need to bend it a bit to really make the suspense there more powerful. All right. Which is also part of how, you make your project dynamic. So I'll make this visible. So I'm going to use bottom on the title. So I'll make this, select the two layers and go to my property tab here and type GOT. So I'm trying to see how I can make people know that, yes, this is letter R. All right. So what I'll do is I'll go to the hand with the sax, activate the free transform, and let's see if I move this in a bit and rotate this a bit. Yeah, this is better because you see this tiny space we have on the letter R here is very important. So I'll use let's use medium. And for now, I'm going to close the space between the letters. So this is one of the tricks that you can use to draw the attention of your viewers to the small information you have in the project. So when you place something small next to something big, is part of how you, excuse me, I'm doing this on the wrong layer. It's part of how you make that small information important to the eye of your viewers. So this is going to be still Gotham. So go like that. So now the space we have between the title and the date and time here is what make the proximity here balance. So space is what you use to make proximity balance in your project. All right. So that is another proximity there. So we have 4 proximities here. Okay, so this is the first proximity. This is the second. This is the third, and this is the fourth. All right. So grouping your elements is very important. So activate the free transform and just make this a bit bigger like that. And now let's start fine tuning the project. So what I'll do is I'll change this to white. Let's change this to white. All right. Yes. And I'm going to pick the color from the sax here on this. I'm still going to make this a bit brighter because I'm looking at my background. All right. The value of the color on my foreground should be different from the value of the color I have on my background. And that's why you notice that after picking this color from here, I still move this up to make this brighter than the color that I have on my background. Please take note of this. All right, please, it's very important. So I'm going to move this here and make the color pop because that is the title. And we're talking about praise here. So when you hear the word praise, it simply means celebration. So I'm going to hit the OK button for now. We're getting to the interesting part of this project. You see, part of what makes the design project look successful is when you have an object as part of your illustration and you add depth to the element. And that's what I'm going to be showing you guys in the next part of this tutorial. But before we get to that, I have a very important information I want to share with you guys. We get calls a lot from young people who are looking forward to learn design but can't afford to pay for design school. Because of this, we decided to start a foundation where we can be a blessing to these people. We're looking at getting gadgets and space in order for us to meet our goals. And this is where we need you to support us with your donations. Now, if you have any amount you want to support us with, simply make use of the account details on the screen. And if you're outside Nigeria, you can also support us. So you can use the seller link below the account details. Every amount that comes from you will be highly appreciated. And we want to specially thank those of you who have been sending us your donations. Thank you. All right, so let's continue the tutorial. The image is also, or your illustration also need to add to the success of the project. The color on your illustration also need to pop because it's also part of the project. So what I'll do is I'm going to activate curve here because we need to add depth to the image. So I'm going to move this up like that. Now see that simple move that I made. I applied to this now. See how it gave this image life. So I'm going to move this here and move this up here. But this is still not enough. So the next is to really make the highlight on this pop. So I'm going to activate exposure and select the clip icon and add more exposure to this. But this is too overexposed. So I'm going to hit Ctrl I to reverse the layer mask of the exposure. And I'll go straight to my brush settings here. Now make sure your brush is active. Select the soft round brush. And I'm going to, no, this is not supposed to be active. So I'm going to turn this off here. And I'm going to zoom in with Control Space. But now it's because I have a graphics tablet. That is why I have this checked. But if you don't have a graphics tablet, you can turn it off and make your flow 12. So the whole idea here is we're trying to control the strength of our brush ourselves. Okay. So I'm going to make this a bit bigger and switch to white because we need to be on the opposite color of our layer mask. So I'll switch to white here. So I'm going to bring back the exposure. Then the other part is the hand of the character here, because if you look at the hand of the character, it's too inside the background. So we need to also create a separation here. So I'll select the brush to sample this color from here. All right. Then make this a bit brighter. Create a new layer here. Make this soft like that. Okay. Then I'll go to the exposure now and still apply the, no, excuse me, shouldn't make that too big. So I'm just going to softly apply the exposure there like that. Then I'll make the same move here, sample a color from here. I'm holding down Alt now as I select the area where I want to pick my color. Then I'll make the same move here by just softly applying the highlight there. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to create a separation between my background and my foreground. Then I'll come here and make the same move, then apply the exposure to this like that. Good. And look at how beautiful this is. Let's see the before. This is the before Wow. And this is the after. Then for my title here, this is still looking dull to me. So let's see what we can do to the title to give it life. It's looking too flat. So I'm going to select the title now, and I'm going to create a new layer above the title there, and going to select the brush tool and pick the darker parts, all right, of this the saxophone there. Softly apply my brush there. Then I'm going to hold out Alt and clip this to the title there. So I hold down Alt and place my mouse in between the two layers and wait till I see the arrow and the white box and click to clip the layer to the title there. Then I'm going to make this a bit, uh, reduce the opacity a bit and go to the other title, which is the middle word, and make the same move. Sample a color from here. Now notice how I'm sampling the color. I'm still picking the color from the project. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to give room for unity. I'm trying to make everything look like they belong together, which is very important. All right, so I'm going to make the same move here and hold down Shift, click here, hold down Alt, make the same move, click, and turn down the opacity of this a bit. So yeah, this is not bad. And for this, let's change it. Let's give room for contrast here. So I'm going to select that like that and go to my color picker here and pick the color from here. All right. Then there's another thing I feel like doing here. I really want to create a separation here, which is also part of how I can control the eye of my viewers here, because I really want people to know that, hey, you see these guys here, I want you to see them as one family. So I'm going to create, which is not really important, but if you feel like really helping your viewers, all right, yes, so this is better. All right, then one other thing I think I still need to do here, because my background here is really affecting the visibility of the information I have in the project. So I'll shift select the images and drag them out from this folder here and make a new layer. Select the brush tool, and I'm going to pick this color here. So I'm holding down Alt as I move my mouse to the preferred area where I want to sample the color, and I'm going to increase my brush size and softly apply my brush there. Now, watch the way I'm applying my brush. I still want those textures, those uh dust, those gold dust in the background to still be visible, because what they do is they're not just there. What they are doing is to help make the project look interesting to the eye. All right. So do not get rid of them. All right. Yes. So then for the background here, I'm going to activate curve and really make this a bit darker, because I really want the contrast here to be more stronger. So I'll move this up to boost the highlights on the background like that. So this is where we have. So because we have the gold particles in the project, I'm going to add noise to this to really make the texture on the gold particles that I have on the background really pop. So I'm going to hold on Alt and click on the new layer icon. All right. Then I'm going to call this noise. Then I'm going to say soft light and check the fill with neutral color there and say okay. Then I'll go to filter and I'll say noise and I'll say add noise. All right. So I'm going to make my noise amount 16.9 like that and hit the OK button. Then there's another thing I still feel like doing here. I really want to give that just that zoom effect. All right, so I'm going to make a copy of this. Now, this move here is not really important, but I'm doing this to really make my project pop. All right, so I'll go to filter and I'll go to blur and say radial blur, and I'm going to make sure that my blur method is on spin and quality is going to be good and the amount is going to be 10 like that, and I'm going to say okay. Then we are going to turn down the opacity of this a bit like that. Yep. Then one last thing here, I'm going to hold on control and select the second layer here, make a copy of this and hit Control E like that, and go to Filter, Sharpen, and say Unsharp Mask. So what I'm trying to do here is to add contrast to the pixels so as to make the texture on the gold particles on the background really pop. All right, so I'm going to make my amount 99, radius is going to be 1.0, and threshold is going to be 0. And I'm going to say okay, like that. So let's still make this a bit brighter because I think I over applied the curve there. And yep. So now if we zoom out, now this is our final project. So let's see the before and after. This is the after, and this is the before. Now, I believe you know how to spice up your project. Now, listen, don't make this the last time you're going to watch this tutorial. Watch this tutorial again, because the more you watch the tutorial, the more it opens your eyes to some of the things that you did not notice the first time you watch it. And if you know anyone who is fighting with knowing how to achieve successful design projects or want to learn Photoshop, you can share this tutorial with them so as to help them. If you have not subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button, and remember to click the post notification bell so you get notified when I post my tutorials. Now, if you love this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have anything you want to share with me, drop it in the comment section of this video. I'll do my best to reply you. If you are able to achieve any project with the help of this tutorial, kindly post it on your Instagram page and remember to tag me. My Instagram handle is @CeasarGraphics. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.